Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk. This time, I'm in Reigate. I wonder why I'm in Reigate. There's only one man who knows Reigate, and it's Matthew Holdsworth. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Richard.
Lovely to see you again.
And you?
You've agreed to take me on another series of walks.
Certainly have.
And we're in Reigate, and from what I gather, we are by St Mary's Parish Church.
We are, yes.
And you're going to take me both inside the church,
Yep.
up the tower,
Yep.
and to see some famous person's gravestone.
Certainly are, yes. So shall I lead on?
Yes, lead on.
So we're in the cemetery in Reigate today. It's not used as a cemetery for new graves anymore. So what you see here are graves largely from the 19th and early 20th century.
What's fascinating and absolutely beautiful, I think, is the way that the grass has been allowed to grow to such a height that the gravestones themselves, as you can see, appear like in a sea of grass. It's quite beautiful. I mean, if it was a modern grave, if I was trying to find my mother or something, or my father, that might be a bit hard, but I think it's really good.
I think it's very pretty. There's quite a few wild flowers and stuff out and about as well at the moment, which I think really helps.
Yeah. I mean, you could say it's kind of laziness on the council, lack of funding, but at the same time, there is a certain sort of beauty to it.
Certainly is. Yes. We've got here on the left. This is an old mortuary chapel from the 19th century. I think it's used as more of a sort of storehouse now. Although I understand from speaking to people online that both this and the non-denominational chapel across the road in the 50s and 60s was used by kids from the grammar school to go and have a cigarette in.
How typical that is.
So let's head on up this way.
Yes, because we get a good view of the church. And there it is. It's a beautiful church with a lovely tower going up, which we're going to climb up a little later.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now on our left here, this is John Linnell's grave, and actually this is his family grave here.
Oh, right.
John Linnell was a relatively famous landscape painter, I think he was.
Oh, was he?
Yes, quite well known and renowned. And this is where his resting place. And a little bit further on,
to the chimes of the church.
Yes,
in the
background.
background.
Chimes of the church. Just up here, I should also be able to show you Francis Frith's grave as well.
Francis Frith, of course, the famous photographer of the Victorian period.
Yeah, largely Victorian period. Amassed a huge collection of photographs of mostly of the UK, but he was also quite well travelled in the Middle East and Egypt as well.
Oh, was he?
And took a lot of photographs there. In fact, this one here is his grave here, as you can see.
Oh yes, here we go. This looks like it's been visited a few times.
Yes.
The grass is just a little lower there. Let's see if we can get a closer look. There we are, Francis Edgar Frith, 1864 to 1883.
Yes.
That's amazing. Gosh.
And they lived in Reigate. He was quite a committed Quaker. And was very sort of quite a philanthropist as well with that, and he probably would have been behind us. You can see there is this mortuary chapel here. This was a chapel for as it was called, the dissenters or the non-conformists.
Oh, right.
From the 19th century, so that he might well have had his funeral service in that one as a Quaker.
Yes. Oh, how lovely. And it's a beautiful looking chapel. In fact, it's slightly nicer than the other one.
It is, yes. This one's a bit more ornate. As obviously, it's got Reigate stone on the outside there. The stone.
And that's quarried. Reigate stone is quarried fairly locally.
Quarried very locally, yes. There were some quarries sort of either side of Reigate. I think it's not quarried anymore.
No. Oh, no, right.
It's known to be quite soft.
Ah.
Which doesn't help.
Doesn't help, but
No.
it's still standing though, Matthew.
It certainly is. Yes. I think it's quite well maintained.
Yeah, it's a beautiful colour actually. That Reigate stone. It's a sort of a creamy yellowy colour.
It is a lovely colour. It is a lovely colour.
Okay, let's
head up this way. We'll get towards the church.
Through these yews. And there it is.
So
it does look resplendent. Is that also in Reigate stone?
No, some of the main body of the church has some Reigate stone, which you can probably see exposed. But the tower was reclad in Bath stone in the 19th century, which is why it's a different colour.
Yes.
And also much more even blocks. Reigate stone was not often quarried evenly, so you can see it's quite... And if we just go around here by the lich gate, and then we can go in through the entrance by the west door.
Oh, yes, and I do like a good lich gate. In fact, let's
go
just go out and in, as it were, through the actual lich gate. Let's get a view of it first of all. There it is. Look at that. And then we'll take you inside the church. So let's stroll through. So Matthew, we're inside.
Certainly are.
Wow. Well, it's impressive from the outside. Let's see how impressive it is on the inside. You've got some places you want to take me to.
If we head down this way,
Certainly.
so we don't knock ourselves in the chairs.
Well, I'll follow you actually, because it's a bit narrow. It's a beautifully wide church, isn't it, Matthew?
Yes, I think most of the church was, originally there was a church here from about the 1200s. Most of what you see is the 15th century.
Right.
And has then been restored with some additions later on.
Clearly it's a very popular church and it's in use a lot.
Yes, it is, yes.
Yeah.
It's a very popular, it's the parish church, used for concerts and all sorts of things, but
Right.
there's a number of services in the day as well.
I love this rude screen here. I've just pulled back a bit actually to show you.
Yeah, so it's medieval, or originally medieval, much restored in the 19th century. The church was restored quite heavily by Gilbert Scott, I think, in the 19th century.
Wow. No, it's all that carving, and this is the thing you just never get anymore.
No one would build something like this now.
So let's have a look. So this is coming up to the main altar.
Just around to our right, there are some knights' helmets behind the organ.
Knights' helmets.
Organ console.
Wow. Okay. Let's have a look at those.
Not entirely sure why they're here, but I think it's thought that they were knights that may have been buried in the churchyard.
Oh right.
And their helmets were left behind.
Gosh, look at that. That is incredible.
The oldest one, I think, is on the left, and that dates, I think, from the very early 16th century.
I'm amazed. Apart from seeing them in museums, I don't think I've ever seen such incredible things in a church.
I've never seen them in a church. No, they are.
I lie. I have seen one on a wall on a high up where no one could get to, and clearly these are protected. But to have a collection of 4 of them, all different styles.
Yes.
You can see that the what do you call him, the blacksmith or the person who made them. The craftsmanship in there alone is startling, and just different styles. Some with more visibility than others.
Yes. So some I think they could barely see out of at all.
Yeah, no, love those. Love those. Definitely worth coming to have a look just for those, in my opinion. So we come back to the main altar area, which is now what strikes me actually. The altar is over here, and you've got this fabulous window, which you reckon isn't medieval.
It's not medieval. I think all the windows from here date from the 19th century.
Right.
From the church restoration. I think many of the old windows had been removed in later medieval times or at the time of the Commonwealth, after the Civil War.
Oh, right. But they're still very beautiful, and in the light that we've got, very colourful. But what strikes me is what a length the church is. If you're having a service here, you need binoculars down the other end, don't you?
I think it is one of the largest parish churches in Surrey.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely amazing. Lots of detail to see, but of course time eludes us. So
over here we've also got some effigies, and I think these are of the first Baron Howard of Effingham.
Oh right.
Well, certainly one of them. One of these are. I think.
I love these. Look at this chap here in his ruff and all his outfits, just leaning nonchalantly,
having a little doze.
Having a doze now in the afterlife, and then this other chap down here. Whichever one is which. Oh, maybe is that his wife I've just been looking at?
Possibly. And this man looks a bit more pious, I think.
Yes. And then in this little chamber here, another. Do you think that's the height that they were?
I think these are meant to be life size. Yes.
Yeah.
They were obviously smaller back then.
No, that's amazing how we've grown in the modern world. Grown both tall and outwards as well.
Yes.
Sadly, yeah, quite.
And then
just have a look at the organ, because you said there's a console on the other side.
There's a console on the other side. The organ's just been renovated. There's a console on the other side, but there is a console that you can play from here, actually on the organ itself. Trouble with there is I think you have to be very small, because there's a very small door that gets you up there. But also, the noise from the pipes would be very deafening if you're playing. You've got the big pedal pipes on the side there, the big 16-footers.
You've got another...
There's one more thing to have a look at.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Follow me.
Back through the rood screen. Oh, wow.
And here we have a big memorial to Richard Ladbroke, who used to live in the parish. I think this dates from the late 1700s. It does say that he was a benefactor to the poor. Obviously, wanted just to show off quite how wealthy he was, I think, in death.
It's almost a shame that it's sort of tucked away a little bit here, isn't it?
Yes.
In the corner of the church, but and it's marble. Would you say it's marble?
I think that's marble. I think that's marble. But even the way that his arm is resting on a skull.
Oh, yeah.
Quite fascinating to me.
Let's have a look. Let's find the skull. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's very, in a way, it's very Shakespearean, isn't it?
Very Shakespearean, yes. Well, he's got a crown as well.
Oh, yeah. He thought
Hamlet?
highly of himself.
Yes, he thought very highly of himself, I think.
Well, Matthew, you've excelled yourself here.
Oh, thank you.
We've been up, well, we have when we filmed. There's another video, let me put it like that, where Matthew and I go up into the tower. We talk to David Gilmore, get that right, David Gilmore, and we go up onto the tower and get the views across the 360-degree views across Reigate and the surrounding area, which is brilliant. And the tower and the bells are amazing, so check that one out.
Oh yeah, definitely check that one out. Weather was fantastic.
Yeah, but we've got more videos to do, so check those out as well. But from St Mary's Parish Church here in Reigate, Matthew, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Another pleasurable exploration. So join me again on another one at some other time. Till then, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. You've got the key, haven't you?
I've got the hope so.
Yeah.